So Fat Man.
So Sleazy.
Yes, Sleazy.
How many fucking Fat Mans are on this show?
All of them?
Single one of them.
All of them, ho!
Holy shit. Well, let's talk about that on the wrestling show. Welcome, everyone. This is Sleazy.
This is a bunch of fat men.
And welcome,
Fucking
everyone,
right.
to another wonderful episode. First of all, apparently, Fat Man choked a little too hard on that screwdriver from last week. Tried to sell it, failed to sell it, but instead threw up.
Wow.
But the rest of the gang is all here. First of all, let's start with the reigning, defending, undisputed
No, DT's still mad.
Jeopardy trivia champion, the only gold medalist on the show, Mr. Heavy G. How are you doing?
What is happening, everybody? Let's talk some wrestling. We're gonna whoop some ass and take some names tonight. Let's get it.
Secondly, because I know he's on break, the Proud Papa is here
Get him
from work? Question mark.
On location.
Mr. Ryan Williams is here with us.
Hey, yo. Also, reigning, defending, undisputed wrestling trivia champion, not Jeopardy champion. You left that out. Future
Okay.
Hall of Famer, blah, 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 blah.
We're going to have a unification match just because.
Fuck that. They get WWE and Ring of Honor and AEW has a million belts. We can have two.
Fuck that. And of course, for the first time in a while, actually, Mr.
Hold on. No. For the first time in a while, but he's still here. The inaugural Jeopardy champion, Brandon Dietz.
the one of one.
The one of one. Listen, this technically is a show of all former
Champion.
or current Jeopardy champions.
Yeah, Mr.
Clash
One
of
and
the
Done
Champ-
over here.
Clash of the Champions.
That's Thursday.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Thursday. I
that is-
reclaim.
We'll definitely put that over. Yeah. Well, we'll see. Not gonna be me, for sure. Because I know Ryan's got like 10 minutes here. I want him to shoot off.
I can guarantee you right now, I'm going to be on and off all night as much as I can. Just hide on, pop on, go off. 5-10 minutes here and there.
Fair. I think this is going to be a quicker show anyway, but what we have done is we've created two top three lists. One that is our favorite shows that we believe are our favorites, and then top three of what we consider the GOATed, the best shows of all time. I'm going to start with Mr. Ryan. You get to choose which list to start with for all of us, and start off with your number three.
We're going to start with favorites.
Okay.
Number 3 favorite to me is the Royal Rumble 2001.
Why, sir?
Because that led into WrestleMania 17. That led into the end of the Attitude Era. That was your last basic glimmer of hope that the Attitude Era was still alive after that event. Because after WrestleMania 17, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just after the Rumble 2001, and there were so many good matches. The Rumble was fucking deadly. Like, all of it was just, to me, it's one of my, it's the 3 pay-per-views that are my favorite are ones I will continue to go back and watch religiously, no matter what. And that would be of the 3, that is the 3rd most I've ever watched.
Fair. Deets, your number 3 favorite.
My number 3 favorite is probably, this is going to be weird,
They're all
but
going
it's
to be
definitely
weird.
WrestleMania 40.
Wow.
So the reason for that gave me, this was the very first time in a very, very, very long time that I can remember this being a monstrous blockbuster main event.
So you're saying to put adrenaline in your soul?
Something.
Something.
Cody
Cody Rhodes.
Considering you were literally outside the arena an hour before it started.
Yep. Like
Except for Ryan, unfortunately.
It was awesome. It was probably the best lead-up show ever for the next day.
Fair.
Like all the matches were incredible. Like it felt like a rejuvenation shot of, hey, WWE can still put on goddamn motherfucking bangers. And it put the fucking stick in the ground and says, hey, bitch, we're still fucking here. You can have your 5-star Meltzer matches. We'll go out and sell a fucking $10 million gate.
See, everything you're saying, I feel like you're talking about WrestleMania 39. 100, and it's
Everything about it.
Everything you say, because WrestleMania 39 and WrestleMania 40 were basically top tier WrestleManias. The only fucking difference is 40, adrenaline was in everybody's soul. Even the Undertaker's, and he don't have soul.
No, but it was a great fucking throwback.
Oh, yeah.
When you can get my fat ass to jump out of a fucking chair.
Because everybody expected Austin. Everybody wanted Austin. And they were given somebody they didn't want, and they went, oh, and didn't care, and still popped.
It was awesome. So awesome. But yeah, that's number 3.
Number 3. Heavy G, number 3.
At DT, it's not weird because WrestleMania 40 is my number 3.
Wow.
For all the same reasons. It just brought back that, hey, Vince is out. This is what you can expect from now on. And I think it definitely got my, like I said, when Undertaker came out, I was like, oh yeah. I was hoping it was Undertaker. But yeah, that just shows what is coming up and what basically has been since WrestleMania 40 has been just great storylines and great action. So
bad for business that WWE's got good again.
Oh, God,
I'll get the Reddit quote in real early.
Yeah, get that in there. WWE being good is bad for wrestling. One of my favorite takes of wrestling.
I can't wait to talk about that more on Thursday.
Oh, I will.
We will get into that hardcore.
I will hold off just for that.
Yes.
Okay, Sleazy, I got the run. I might be back, but I'm spitting out 2 and 1 now for me.
Go for it.
Well, hey, just send it to me then.
No, I want to say it because I know Sleazy's going to pop in. One of the 2 of them are probably on Sleazy's favorite list. It's number 2, One Night Stand 2006. Number 1, One Night Stand 2005. Right?
Thank you. Oh my God. Mwah.
See, I knew that, yeah. But yeah, they are the 3 I watch no matter what happens religiously in this world. Like I will always watch them. Anyways, I'm out. I might be back after.
Enjoy. So my number 3, you'll kind of feel the theme from my side. My number 3 will never be on anybody's top list ever. And this is one of the biggest sad points of this particular show is that Fat Man's not here because he would enjoy this. My number 3 is 99 Problems from 2CW. It was spoiler, my first indie show, truly. Like that wasn't a shitbag show from Phelps. The reasoning behind it obviously was Fat Man and I drove down to Binghamton to do the show, but you listen to some of the names on this show is fucking ridiculous. Gargano, Cheech, Slick Wagner Brown, Adam Pearce, Dalton Castle, Kevin Steen, Colin Delaney, Elgin, Fox, Jessica Havoc, Mickey James, Eddie Edwards, Roderick Strong, and the Young Bucks was on this show. And then quite possibly the worst main event in the history of any show I've ever watched, which was yeah, it was. Sean Carr was in it. It was this was the show when you listen to Kevin Steen jokingly talk in interviews about professional wrestling. He says, I once saw a guy cry because he lost a fake belt. It was this match that he was referring to, because the babyface team was coming in. They were facing the Chris, which one of them is a, and then our local heel team, and something accidentally happened in the match and they got eliminated, and they weren't supposed to get eliminated. They were supposed to win the match. And the booker came out during the match and, well, you're fucked. Get in the back. And the guy started crying in the back because he lost the match and lost the belts over it. But for
Is
me,
this online?
oh, it's got to be somewhere.
I'll find it.
I know it was an iPay-per-view. I don't know if you can find it anywhere. Maybe on 2CW's old page or old YouTube, might be. I know I have a copy of it that I may or may not have obtained. But I will tell you that it is hilarious. It's ridiculously a mess, but it is also one of my favorite moments because it was one of my first big time indie events, and I loved every second of it. And Fat Man was with me, and it was one of the first like major shows we ever put out there live. This was back in 2013, so we just started the show. We were like 1 year into the show itself, so it mattered to me like a lot that we started making these connections. And here's the other piece. This was also the show that got me in contact with Dick Justice, which got me training to become a wrestler. So there's so many different historical things that happened during the show that meant so much to me and changed my life for like over a decade. So, and that's only on my number 3. So number 2, Deets, on you.
Wait, hold it. Batman's number 3.
Oh, I forgot. You got
that's
Batman.
right.
Completely
forgot.
I got your back. I got your back, Batman. I got you.
Fuck Batman.
Hey,
Dude,
fuck with you, Batman.
put him in the camel crutch, break his neck, and make him humble.
Break his back, make him humble. Oh, you're gonna break his neck. That's just wrong.
You got to do the neck.
His number 3 is WrestleMania 19.
What an asshole! What a fucking asshole! That's his favorite. He couldn't come up with anything for his favorite. Other than one of the best.
His number 3 favorite is WrestleMania 19. We already talked about it with Lesnar, Angle, Rock, Austin, Hogan, McMahon, and stuff like that. So that's his number 3.
Show, but
oh yeah.
But yes, you are absolutely 100% correct. Deets, number 2.
My number 2 is, I kind of talked about it with 40, having hit the big, solid, hardcore main event. And then the last time I ever felt that was this pay-per-view, which was WrestleMania 18.
Oh, wow. Hogan Rock.
Yeah. Hogan Rock, I can literally just watch the shorts of both of those guys talking about it.
Yeah.
And I'll just go down the rabbit hole and just listen to people talk, and especially like guys that grew up watching, like that are in now, watch them as we did, just adore everything about that fucking match. Mm. I love it. It's up there as my number 2. My number 1, you'll laugh, but you'll get it.
I can understand it. I really do think that from and to be fair, we talk a lot of shit about Hogan, right? Mm-hmm. But there's a reason why he's an iconic professional wrestler, and it was for moments like that. And we'll talk about this later in news and rumors, because something's going to come up that's going to hit me on that side too. Is that you've got the iconic character, and then you got the real person. So, there goes Deeds. Heavy G.
I'm going to start with Fat Man's number 2. Fat Man's number 2 is NXT TakeOver New York. That's one where it was the War Raiders against Aleister Black and Ricochet, Velveteen Dream face Matt Riddle. Main event for the vacant NXT Championship, 2 out of 3 falls. Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole.
That was his favorite?
That was his number 2 favorite. Yeah.
Number 2 favorite. Jesus Christ. You didn't
Okay.
get the memo.
My number 2 favorite is going way back. It's Clash of the Champions 6.
Oh, my fucking bet. Ah!
You got
All right, timeout. What was the main event on this?
the main event was Steamboat versus Ric Flair, 2 out of 3 falls for the NWA heavyweight title.
This was
Was
in
this wasn't the
1971.
Chi-Town Connection one, right?
No, this wasn't. No, Chi-Town Rumble was only a 27-minute match, and that's when I think that's when Funk attacked him. But no, this was the best 2 out of 3 fall match where he actually made Flair submit to a double chicken wing for the second fall. And then the last fall, he tried to do it again, the double chicken wing. They both fell. Flair had his foot on the rope, although Tommy Young counted the 3 fall, and the 3 count, that was it. It was 55 minutes and 32 seconds was the match. So,
God damn, and people talked about AEW shows being too long.
Don't even.
Listen, that's 7 hours fuck fest.
I know. I had to get the knife in there somewhere.
I'm glad your back hurts now, you bastard.
I was just talking about the age of the show. God damn, my arthritis is acting up.
Hey, did you expect anything less from me?
No.
Really? Okay then.
No, I don't expect anything less than you. Hey, to be fair, and I joke, but legitimately, fucking
And another interesting
type
note
of match, you know.
Another interesting note: the Varsity Club, who was Mike Rotunda and Steve Williams, beat a specific tag team to win the titles.
Who is this?
The Road Warriors.
Yeah, that was the Road Warriors. I do remember that.
I don't know. I don't know who the Road Warriors are. Obviously, from the well-known WCW trivia we did not that long ago.
Great Muta was on the card. The Samoan SWAT team.
Jesus, it was a stacked card. It was definitely a stacked card.
It was pretty good.
Okay, so I cheated. Okay, because my number 2. Well, you'll understand why as soon as I say it. Well, Dietz will actually.
Jakara?
Leave me alone. WrestleMania 29 and Supercard of Honor 7.
It's the birth of the show.
Yes. The reason why Ryan's on the show, the reason why He Who Shall Not Be Named is on the show.
Which one?
Pick one. I was gonna actually say Chip because he's still in the intro. So, but yeah, the reason why we went from a duo to a full, like, fleshed out co-host, extra presenters. At one point we were doing 3 different shows. You know, all that happened because of WrestleMania weekend, and we went to, you know, obviously Supercard of Honor. The reason why that picture exists and that Ring of Honor hat exists. The last time I met Michael Elgin, which sounds strange, because fuck that dude. But yeah, like Ryan and Travis were both with us in that arena for Supercard of Honor. It was just an amazing show in of itself. And then WrestleMania 29 happened. And that was definitely a WrestleMania that happened in New York. That's all I can say about that. It wasn't a bad show. There were a couple of I wouldn't be happy about shows. They cut one of the best entrances out of the actual show because we got to see it live, but it never showed up on the actual show. Was Jack Swagger coming down in the 6x4? That was fucking amazing.
Which was awesome.
That was fucking amazing.
So when that was going on, I had ran down to the Superstore real quick because I can't remember what match it just finished, but I took off, picked up a Damian Sandow t-shirt and fucking hauled back up because I had to go up to a suite because our buddies, when we went, one of our buddies was handicapped. So he actually was up in the handicap suite.
Oh wow!
Ran up. As I'm going up, I hear the dun, 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 with that awesome theme music that he just got introduced with. And then he got fucking nerfed because he got banged for fucking weed.
You're right. This is fucking bullshit.
But I remember seeing that. I was just like, this is so cool. I'm like, I can't wait to see this on when I get to rewatch it. And they never fucking filmed it.
Yeah, it was never filmed. It was never put on the when you see it live or on the actual stream or wherever you're looking for it, it just cuts to them in the ring and Jeb Coulter. What was his name? It was Jeb Coulter. Zeb Coulter. Dutch Mantel. It'll always be Dutch Mantel to me.
Dirty Dutch.
Dirty Dutch. But yeah, him cutting a promo with Swagger in the ring. I thought it was one of the most unique flips of roles in terms of the American dream versus, a foreign entity. I thought it was really well done in that respect. Obviously,
they got fucking nerfed.
Well, yeah, completely and utterly.
Yeah.
But Taker's last win of the streak against CM Punk.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So a couple of major things. Number one,
Then you got the Salt in Living Color too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They played him down.
Yeah, they played Punk down. Your number one, Sarah.
My number one, and this still continues with the Hogan theme. Technically, he was in a match, but not really. It's 96 Bash at the Beach. So for me, it's the birth of the NWO. It's the birth of the Outsiders. Everything that I loved about wrestling as a kid happened at that show. Fight for your right.
I am a real American.
Except that was American made.
That was not actually his song originally.
I know you're correct, but I don't know who they originally had made it for.
The original tag, it was for a tag team. It was
American Males.
Thunder and Barry Windham.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were the US Express.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
For some reason, I was thinking it was one of the brothers. One of the Von Erichs.
Oh. Carrie?
Gary?
I thought it might have been Carrie.
Yeah.
It was actually on what was the first album, Pile Driver?
Yeah. Yeah.
His original music was sucked. It was like, it's just terrible.
It was absolutely ridiculous.
Terrible.
Everyone knows Real American now, and everyone, yeah.
Thank you, Rick Derringer.
Right.
Yeah.
Heavy G, number one for you or Fat Man, your choice.
Fat Man's number one is WrestleMania 8.
WrestleMania 8?
That was
Okay.
Flair. It was Flair Hogan. I'm sorry, it was Sid Justice.
Supposed to be Flair Hogan.
Yeah, it was supposed to be
Sid Justice Hogan. And it was Randy Savage versus Ric Flair.
It was Flair Macho.
Yeah, it was Flair Macho.
Taker Jake, I want to say.
Yeah, Taker Jake. Michaels against Tito Santana.
Mm-hmm.
Bushwhackers and the Beverly Brothers. Bret Hart beat Roddy Piper for the Intercontinental title with the sleeper, the roll up in the corner.
That was the sleeper counter.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's his favorite. My number one.
Okay, I can't shit on him because it's not the best WrestleMania. Because the other two shows that he put on there were like some of the best, pay-per-views of all time.
Well, that's his all favorite and his all-time one.
What an asshole! What an asshole!
My number one, Great American Bash, 1980.
87. This was. Is this Flair Vader?
No, it's way later. This is the start of the War Games.
Oh,
it was a 3-night
event.
The
Horsemen in.
It was the Horsemen versus the Superpowers. The Horsemen which was Flair, Anderson, Luger, Blanchard, and James J. Dillon with Dark Journey against the Road Warriors, Nikita Koloff, Dusty Rhodes, and Precious Paul Ellering. But some of the other matches on this card had Steve Williams, Dick Merker. This was probably one of the first ones that went over multiple nights because it went 3 nights.
Jesus
It
Christ.
went July 4th, July 18th. It was at the Omni, and July 4th. July 18th, it was at North Carolina Memorial Stadium in Charlotte. And July 31st was the second War Games. This is where the War Machine, who was Big Bubba Rogers, substituted for James J. Dillon, who got a separated shoulder in that first War Games match. And that was at the Orange Bowl.
No, I'm going to. I know I'm going to be an asshole here. Okay, to be fair, I'm good. You're going to tell me that an AEW pay-per-view is too long, but this show went 3 fucking nights.
Okay, WrestleMania 40 went 2 nights. You didn't say shit.
Yeah, it was still shorter than an AEW show.
The matches weren't that long, to be honest with you.
Were they? I actually don't know. I actually have to go back and take a look at it. And to be fair, they're 3 different shows. They're 3 different, venues.
Yeah,
I get it.
I mean, there are a lot of repeat performers in there, but we got Kevin Sullivan against Dory Funk. Manny Fernandez against Manny Fernandez and the Barbarian against the Mulkey Brothers. The first War Games is my all-time favorite match. That's not singles, but my second one's also in here, which is probably one of my favorite tag matches, is Ricky and Robert against the Midnight Express.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
fucking Cornette talks that fucking match up like it's God's gift to wrestling, and he's not wrong.
It's where the NWA belts were on the line, not the US belts.
Right.
And Big Bubba Rogers hit Ricky Morton with the sidewalk slam, but left his hat and his sunglasses in the ring. And then you see Stan Lane doing his little, and then you thought he won, and it was nope. Because the Big Boss Man's hat and gloves, at that time, Big Bubba Rogers' hat and sunglasses in the ring. So that's my number 1.
That's actually a good number 1, to be fair. And everyone's lists here have been really good here. So I mean, there's nothing here that I would sit here and really shit on anybody's for, because here's the reality of this: is that this is meant to be a favorites list. This is, what we believe, we enjoy, we like. And my number 1 pretty much exudes that, because not only was it a great show, it was a great historical moment for me once again. And it was NXT TakeOver Toronto in 2016. And the reason why has literally nothing to do with the card, even though the card was fucking stacked. Joe versus Knock in the main event. Asuka versus Mickey James, DIY versus a Revival was on that same show.
I remember that fucking rocked.
Bobby Roode versus Ty Dillinger in the opener. The entire show was rocked, right? But most importantly, it was the first show I ever took my wife to. Back at the time, was still my girlfriend. And right. Right. But yes, welcome, by the way. I cannot stress this enough. Michelle and I have gone to many shows since then, some good, some really bad.
Yeah.
But
honorable mention.
Right. God damn, what a fucking show.
Get the bid in.
Fucking BCW.
Yes.
We'll talk about BCW later on too in News and Rumors as well.
Lovely.
But that you always remember your first. And I was lucky enough to give Michelle one of the probably the best first shows that most people have ever seen, because that was a fucking banger of the show. And that was the same weekend of Survivor Series where you had, I think Bill Goldberg was on the show. And I was like, no, we're just going to do NXT TakeOver and that's it. And what a show to bring somebody, especially somebody who kind of liked wrestling, but didn't really was into it. Now she's a fan. She deals with a lot of AEW shows. She goes to a lot of the shows in person as well. It's amazing, but just to have that
product.
kind of watches the product. So that's it. That's favorite shows. We will go right back around the horn. I'm going to start off now. These top three are what we consider the best shows ever, the goated shows. Number 3, I have a little bit of a theme. I told myself I would only pick one from each promotion because otherwise it would be 3 WrestleManias. That's just the reality of this. My number 3 is Wrestle Kingdom 10. Wrestle Kingdom 10 was long. I will happily admit that. But look at some of the talent in the matches. It started with a fatal 4-way tag match that included Matt Sydal and Ricochet, Roppongi Vice, which was Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero, Red Dragon, and the Young Bucks. That was the start. And it includes just amazing matches like the Briscoes in the 6-man tag match, Jay Lethal versus Elgin, Kushida versus Omega, Goto versus Naito, Shibata versus Ishii when Shibata went on that huge never open weight run, Nakamura versus AJ Styles, and the main event was Okada Tanahashi. It was just top to bottom. It was one of my favorite New Japan shows of all time.
Back when Tana could actually fucking move.
Right? Only 10 years ago, nearly. That was in 2016. I'm going to go the other way around. So, FEG.
Mine to me was Great American Bash 87, with just putting all that talent together, 3 different venues, the different types of matches that were there. Just, to me, it was probably one of the biggest draws down in the South at that point. But Great American Bash 87 is number 3.
Excellent. Do we want to go to Deets and come back to Fatman, or
no? Do Fatman.
Fatman's list is the same. Fatman's list is the same.
Oh, it is. That's right. Yeah, because you combine the two. Deets.
Bastard.
Right?
So mine, now this is going to come out of left field, but you've all I've heard me talk about this show way too many times on this show. It's Backlash 23.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So by far the craziest crowd I've ever seen. I've never seen a crowd like that. It gave me instant hype. And ever since then, anytime they get around Europe, it's always been a banger show. Bash at Berlin, the crowds go, I don't know if that was the catalyst, but good Lord.
I'll tell you.
Inject that into my veins every single night.
Here's the reality of this. If you're a good crowd, they'll come back and see you. How do you think Chicago became a huge hotbed for professional wrestling? How New York has always been big. When you go back into the 80s and 70s, Asheville, North Carolina, the Mid-South areas, those were hotbeds for wrestling because the crowds were fucking amazing. And if they keep doing this, especially considering that they don't get enough, hey, thank you for coming by. I just want to, just sit here and say those are amazing fucking crowds. Will keep the wrestling coming back. It'll keep WWE coming back. It'll have AEW come back more because they'll see that and go, well, I want my product to be cheered like that. TNA might spend some money and get out there too. That might happen. So I can't wait. Number 2 for me. Once again, I didn't want to do another WWE show, so I chose a WWE show. ECW.
One Night Stand.
No, Heatwave '98.
Ooh.
Credible Jerry Lynn opening, Lance Storm, Chris Candido, Taz versus Bam Bigelow. That was like,
Is this the one where he went through the ring?
mm-hmm. The street fight for the main event. Dreamer, Sandman, and Spike Dudley versus the rest of the Dudleys. That was a fucking nightmare match, but it was amazing. It was just top to bottom the best traditional ECW show that they did. I almost did One Night Stand 2005 though. I really contemplated it. It didn't make my list only because I was trying to keep myself to one each. And of the two, of the WWE shows, there's a WWE show better, and of the ECW shows, I thought this was better. So it was very, very close. But having Ryan put over 2005 for me is just sparks joy in my heart. Number 2, Deets.
My number 2, we've actually already talked about. WrestleMania 29. For literally all the reasons that you had said earlier. I literally had it all written down. I was just like, it's kind of the catalyst for what we're literally talking about right now. Yeah, for me, it's a big thing because essentially created an entire show and it gave me something to do with my friends. So for me, that's all time. Yeah. Number 2.
That's a fair one. Heavy G. Number.
You guys better pop some aspirin for this one. My second one, WrestleMania 4. 4.
That's new for you. Are you sure?
Different.
It's WrestleMania 4. It had the first ever tournament to go down. I mean, some of the matches in the tournament were it was DiBiase, Duggan, Morocco, Bravo, Valentine, Steamboat, Savage, Butch Reed, One Man Gang, Bam Bam Bigelow, Jake Roberts and Rick Rude in a draw. Hogan and Andre got double disqualified in the quarterfinals. All that other stuff that went on in that match, in that pay-per-view. I mean, Beefcake and the Honky Tonk Man for the IC belt.
Mm-hmm.
They had a battle royal, which Bad News beat, won by eliminating Bret Hart, and that's when Bret Hart decided to bust up the trophy. Axe and Smash became the first time they won the Chide Champs when they beat Strikeforce. When Martel turned on
Fucking
Santana.
Rick Martel, baby.
Right.
Probably one of the most underrated talents in my eyes in wrestling history. I love Rick Martel. I mean, the matches were absolutely great. Like I said, the tournament came out, and then it was Savage winning the title with the help from Hogan.
Because Hogan's got a pose.
Because Miss Elizabeth ran and got Hogan because the Giant kept interfering with Ted DiBiase. So that's mine. Number 2, WrestleMania 4.
Which happened down the road from me. Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Casino.
So fun thing about that. It did not happen in Trump Plaza Casino. It happened in Boardwalk Hall, but they advertised it as the Trump Casino because Trump paid a bunch of money to have the marquee on the door, so to speak, which is pretty interesting if you think about that, because that building has had a lot of professional wrestling history in it. So, what are we on? No, everyone's up to number 1, right?
Yep.
Deets, go ahead and do your number 1.
So my number 1, we've already talked about again because it was my number 3. Mania 40. Like, you can't go wrong. Like, it gave you everything. Like, there wasn't really a bad spot. in any of those. And granted, you can be overcritical about it, but all of those normally had about a 3.5 to 4-star banger on them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially day two. Day two was definitely better than day one. But yeah, WrestleMania 40. Keep bringing this word up, catalyst. Like, and that's the big thing for me is just like what made it change.
Right.
So for me, it's 40 because now we have the wrestling renaissance right now, and we get to talk about it almost every Tuesday and sometimes
Right.
Thursday.
Hey, we got a hello from Bloomsburg, PA. Hello, Facebook user, whoever you are, from where I'm located right
Bloomsburg,
now.
that's kind of near me.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not showing the actual names. I should probably find it on the actual live stream.
It is what it is.
I'll go next because I think it's in the same vein as Deeds. I struggled with this because there's two that really pop in my mind. And to be fair, WrestleMania 40 is going to be top 5 for me of all time. You know, I think I have to go with 39 for a lot of the same reasons. Like, you take a look at the card, you have of night one, quite possibly the best tag match I've ever seen with the Usos versus Sammy and KO. And just that moment, just absolute, like, wow, they fucking did it, you know, type of thing. And then you go down the rest of that card from that night, you know, Pat McAfee going fucking balls to the wall. Damage Control, once again, losing a goddamn fucking match because, of course. Street Profits, in that Fatal 4-Way tag match. Even Austin Theory versus Cena, opening the show for that night, was really good. And then, of course, the second night, you had that fucking, up to that point, the best triple threat match I'd ever seen in Gunther versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. And then you had the shock finish of Cody not winning against Roman. So you had all these amazing fucking moments in this show. And even fucking Edge versus Finn Balor, which, to be fair, Finn should have absolutely fucking won that. Especially now that we know what we know now.
Yeah.
But you still had banger after banger after banger of matches all throughout it. And I consider this, it used to be 19 was my favorite and my top, what I consider the number one favorite, or number one best WrestleMania of all time. I think 39 supplants it, especially when you're talking the two nights together. Welcome.
My buddies Rob and Meredith Cooper from Bloomsburg, PA. My friend Steve, Atherton from Catawissa. So they're tuning in. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
My number one.
Oh God.
Actually, probably gave the NWA the idea for the Great American Bash. WrestleMania 2.
Once again,
same night. No, 3 different venues.
No, 3 different venues.
One of which was down the road.
Yeah, one was in New York, one was in Chicago, one was in LA. I mean,
up the road.
Up the road. I mean, they had you named the celebrities. I mean, it was Joan Rivers, Tommy Lasorda, Dick Butkus, Ed Too Tall Jones, Kathy Lee Crosby. Elvira was a guest announcer.
Wasn't Pat Sajak
Schroeder was a timekeeper. I mean, guest vocalist was Ray Charles. That's what they had. The main event at the one was a 20-man battle royal with NFL football players. Rumble. Yes.
Yep.
With Jimbo Covert, Bill Fralick, Wes Francis, Dirty Holmes, Harvey Martin, and the Refrigerator Perry. Other matches that highlighted the Nassau Coliseum. No, was it Nassau Coliseum?
Yeah, I believe it was.
Yeah, it was the Nassau Coliseum. At the Rosemont, the main event was for the tag champs, Dynamite Kid. Davey Boy Smith won the belts against the Dream Team, which was...
Oh, God knows. I can't pull that.
Jimmy Valiant was their manager. Johnny Valiant was their manager.
I'd have to look. I don't even know.
I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah.
Brutus the Barber?
Brutus Beefcake and Greg Valentine.
Was not going to pull that.
That's right. This is before he went to the full
And
choppy
you
chop.
remember what the main event was in that?
Wasn't that Hogan Bundy?
Hogan Bundy in,
Yeah,
a cage.
in the cage.
And the old
Yeah.
Louisville baseball bat steel cage, just a big fast blue freaking squares.
Right.
That
The one
match,
that didn't give.
right? Here the match times in these were not long. I mean, and here at Nassau, 4 minutes and 10 seconds, 5 minutes and 10 seconds, 3:15, 13:14. That was Piper. That was Mr. T versus Piper in that boxing match.
Oh God, that's right.
Moolah
Fuck.
Moolah versus Velvet McIntyre. That match lasted 1 minute and 25 seconds. Then 205, 9:13.
Women's wrestling.
The Battle Royal lasted only 9 minutes.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. That is a indie fucking battle royal if I've ever heard one.
And then
Okay, everyone, you're just gonna have to sit there and punch and kick, and then when it's time for you to get the fuck out, you get the fuck out. This thing is gonna be 10 minutes. These are the final four. I don't want to hear anyone bitching. No fucking spots to the final four. Go fuck yourself otherwise. I will not have you back otherwise. And if somebody grabs that stick while that match is going on, I swear to Christ, I will come down there and throw you all out.
and
Sounds like you've been there before, sir.
how about it?
Maybe.
Fuck. And the funny part is the longest match in LA wasn't Hogan Bundy. It was actually Terry and Haas Funk against Tito Santana and the Junkyard Dog. 11 minutes and 42 seconds.
God
Thank
damn.
you for playing.
Oh my. Right. It is amazing. So those are our top threes. Do you guys agree? Obviously, if you have your own favorites, put them in the chat. If you're on YouTube or Twitch or Facebook, please throw them out as comments. We'd love to hear what you guys believe.
Honorable mention.
BCW a tribute to Extreme.
I heard they came out with a new belt. The 65 and older belt.
Oh yeah, minimum 65.
Comes with free AARP membership.
Oh yeah, you heard of middleweight, you got middle age.
They don't actually put the belt on them.
No,
They put it on the walker.
They can't. It's too heavy.
They just come down the ring with the belt on the walker itself.
Put it over their shoulder. They go like this.
Oh, God.
God
My
damn.
back hurts.
So I full disclosure here, that was poor Heavy G's first indie show.
Yeah. Hey,
I was sitting here putting over my wife Michelle's first show ever, and that was his.
What does he do for me?
Fuck me.
Wife, friend. Wife,
Yeah.
Wife gets Toronto.
You get a tribute to Extreme on the walker. Oh my God.
You get a 50-year-old bum fest.
With the 75-year-old Onita being the one getting color in a match.
When you
That was
got
wonderful.
Bully fucking Ray pulling back the curtain during a promo saying, I had to do that bump because Devon couldn't. That tells you everything you need to know about the fucking show. Oh my God. It's so bad. Let's get right into news and rumors. We've got a lot of things. Well, there's a couple of major things that happened, obviously.
Yep.
So let's get right into it. The big news, I guess, of the week is Samantha Irvin is done as an announcer for WWE. She was replaced out of nowhere by Lillian Garcia in the most Jay Leno, Conan O'Brien-esque swap I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Thoughts, Deets?
She's got an incredible talent. she's got a knack for this. So when I heard she's getting released, and apparently she's doing outside outside things, which apparently she's a great musician as well.
Mm-hmm.
Best wishes, but god damn if she goes to fucking AEW and ruins everything.
Even Ricochet said she wasn't. So.
Yeah, well, that's where I was
For
getting
now.
Ricochet, Rick said nope, ain't fucking happening, which is awesome because you know what I really want her to do? Fucking boxing.
Oh my god.
Make her get.
Yeah. Or UFC.
Well, she was still had a thing with
UFC's
TKO.
under the same umbrella,
Instead of signing with WWE, she signs with TKO.
Keep going.
I may okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, with her going, I think what I read is correct, that she wanted to focus some on her music career, and I don't know if WWE didn't want her to do that or if they wanted a piece of it or whatever, but she had all these outside endeavors, and good for her. I mean, like you said, she is immensely talented. As a ring announcer, I'd love to hear her announce some boxing. Oh my god.
Yeah, the main according to
Oh, wait a minute, I gotta get it up here. According to that would be this guy right here.
Fuck Dave Meltzer.
Love you, Dave.
Meltzer stated on Wrestling Observer that Irwin's ambitions to pursue a music career was the main reason for her leaving. He noted that Irvin, is looking to focus more on her music and could not come to terms with WWE on outside projects, and also been contemplating this for about a year. So this has not been something new. Responding to social media posts that suggested she only let WWE know about her decision to leave hours before Raw, Irvin refuted the report, stating that she let the company know months beforehand, which kind of makes sense because if they brought back Lillian Garcia, she would have needed at least a little bit of a heads up.
Right.
Let's see here. Because Dietz is here. Let's talk about Sting.
We have something.
Man called Sting.
What?
Yep, we have a couple of bits of Stinger news.
We got Stinger news?
It was a couple of interviews that came out. So according to Sting, you know that retirement that he had in 2016 with WWE?
Yeah.
He didn't want to retire. That was a Vince McMahon thing. He only did so because Vince McMahon wanted him to retire while working for WWE. So apparently Vince McMahon, and this is a quote from him, Vince McMahon wanted me to retire under his umbrella. And at the time I was okay with that. It was a 5+ years that I retired, but I came back because, like I said in my little speech there, I got a phone call from Tony Khan and Cody Rhodes, want to come back and play one more time. So I did, and the rest is history. To me, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happened there, especially considering he got hurt in his last match. Yeah. So whatever. The other bit and piece of that is that Sting officially signed what was effectively a Legends deal, not with WWE, but with AEW. It's a multi-year deal, apparently. He's going to do appearances with them and a couple other things. He didn't really elaborate further if he was actually going to pop up on AEW TV again, but he at least has some connection still with AEW.
He needs to pop up on AEW. He needs to be in Darby Allin's corner when he beats Mox.
I am not against that. I really am not against that.
The only time I would want to see Sting active back in the ring, that's if kids do it. One of the kids jump in, because apparently one's training now. If he jumps into, then yeah. Suit it up, drop down from the fucking ceiling, and let's fucking go. Or that, or give me a buzzard. Haven't seen a buzzard in a hot minute. Did the whole ice stupid shit.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm so afraid because of that. I mean, look, if it ends up being like Ric Flair's last match, I mean, I don't know if you've watched it. That was a fucking thing.
Listen, he had a heart attack in the middle of a fucking match.
Oh, because he should have been in the fucking ring.
But at the same time, Flair was what, 81?
He shouldn't have
No.
been in the ring.
He
I
was
don't know
70-something.
who the fuck cleared that asshole to get in the fucking ring for any reason.
Yep.
For fuck's sake.
Hey, same person put fucking Scott Hall out there when he was fucking doped up on pills, but
Yeah,
also true.
yeah.
Also true.
Jeff Hardy at Victory Road.
God damn.
I mean,
We could go down this rabbit hole.
oh yeah,
Right.
I don't think Sting would do that to the wrestling business. Flair was just
No,
there
but
for a
if
payday.
he think he could go,
He would do
he
it.
would do it.
But I don't think he thinks he
think
can go.
could. I think I think he can.
I think he could.
You and I may think he can, but that doesn't mean Sting thinks he can. You know?
or should he do it?
Yeah. Some interesting news about Raw and SmackDown. Monday Night Raw will run 2 hours in length for the remainder of 2024 before they move to Netflix. PW Insider reports that the story from internal WWE sources differs too, as whether or not they're going to keep it at 2 hours or they're going to move it back to 3 when it goes back to Netflix. It'll probably be more of a flexible thing because let's be honest here, they don't have to worry about overruns or anything like that. It's
Right.
Netflix. So it could be like 2.5 hours, 2:45, 2:20. If they don't need it, they don't use it. Why not?
Time at 9:05 Eastern. Like
They can. They
like
can.
CBS,
Because
the hell, why not?
yeah. For Friday Night SmackDown, which has always been 2 hours, there continues to be talk that the show could also expand to 3 hours. Because obviously they're moving it over to NBC Universal relative to that. So they might be doing that. Obviously they're getting primetime slots for Saturday night main event. So God only knows what that's going to be. There's a whole lot of nothing in that story, but the interesting speculation of, WWE changing the hours of the show might be interesting.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Do you think them dropping down? To me, I think 3 hours is just a lot of content. I think the show be better at 2 hours. I mean, how do you guys feel about that?
So I don't mind the 3 hour show, but you got to process it with something. And that's in the later Vince era, we had a problem. It was a lot of filler, not a lot of wrestling. Now with the Triple H era, you're seeing a little bit more time on the guys.
Yes.
But also they're doing more things differently, like having somebody get an interview, but in the back of them, you see another little thing going on, and you got to be smart enough to watch.
Right.
So they're doing other different things, like the long, super long camera shot with one camera angle. Like everybody's like, that's the Jey Uso special right there.
Yeah.
Like for me,
I love that
if
shit.
it's done right, 3 hours I like. 2 hours though, for the last couple weeks, like last week's show or this week's show was great. Like it was the first time in a hot minute I actually watched Raw beginning to end and said, "Huh, that was a fun little fucking show."
It was.
Well, you know what they say, WWE being good is bad for wrestling,
Bad for wrestling, very bad for wrestling.
For me personally, I know I'll be watching watching the product when it comes to Netflix in 2025 because I have Netflix. One of the biggest problems I've had over the last few years when watching weekly content is that I don't have access to TNT. I don't have access to TBS. I don't have access to USA. I don't have access to Fox at all. So I have to pay $60 to $70 a month to watch weeklies, and I just not going to fucking do that. I already have a Netflix subscription though. So I will be watching Raw. I have a Max subscription, which means I'll be watching Dynamite. So in that case, those two changes have actually opened up wrestling for me rather than the opposite. For a lot of people, I'm going to be interested to see how they kind of, tweak certain things. Once again, I think they are going to to stick with that 2.5-ish hour thing, because I think that if you look at run times of the actual show versus the show with ads, you're getting about 2:15 when it comes to actual content.
2:15, 2:20, like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you keep the shows like that without ads, I'm not against that. Let's see here. We'll ignore that for now. A couple of mini bits and pieces of news. TNA wrestler Jai Vidal is no longer with the company. Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling founder Scott D'Amore told Sean Ross Sapp, that when he parted ways with TNA, the company had instituted a non-compete clause as terms of his release. However, D'Amore and TNA worked out some sort of amicable agreement to end the clause early, which allowed him to do Maple Leaf Wrestling. Additionally, speaking of TNA, former WWE TNA wrestler Christy Hemme has joined TNA Wrestling as a what is her actual title? Head of marketing officially. So she'll be doing executive role stuff. She might show up on camera and whatnot. Those are a couple of minor things. Leah Rush once again missing shows.
What do you miss?
Rev Pro. Apparently he didn't make it to Doncaster in time for the Rev Pro show. He's in the UK, but he didn't make it there in time. Of course, whatever. He was facing Mascara.
So wait a minute. He was in the country, but still missed the show.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Oh yeah.
That's super fucking terrible.
Quickly talk. Motor City Machine Guns showed up on Friday night.
Loved it.
Thoughts? I know, obviously,
kind of super weird. Like, I could be wrong about this. Everybody was like, "This entrance is amazing."
When's the last time you saw a tag team get pyro?
Pyro. Like I even mentioned that in our group chat. Yeah. I'm like, they got fucking pyro.
Yeah.
And the other big thing, like, this is something that I don't know if it's a triple. One, they kept the name Motor City Machine Guns, but then we got gunfire in their actual theme. Something you don't normally see anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Because normally it's like, oh, guns bad. Oh, no. Oh, fuck. Shit. Cop.
They've been around for a long time. They were never going to change them because their act is the Motor City Machine Guns, and to change them to anything else would be such a step back in trying to reestablish them as a tag team. It wouldn't be worth doing, especially at their ages and at their.
It's just weird to see those guys in a WWE ring.
Right. It is. It's fucking weird.
Here's a question. Who's their first big feud against?
Good question.
I know who I would love, and I think it would be amazing. Pretty Deadly.
I was thinking more 8-Town Down.
8-Town Down is another good option, too. I think they would be good heels as foils against them.
Either way, those would be great. I do have to ask you a question. What do you think about what happened to Rhea Ripley with that spot with Raquel Rodriguez?
At Bad Blood? Or
the one
on
Raw.
SmackDown? Or
SmackDown, wherever it was. Where she took the boot and she landed on Tiffany Stratton.
Oh, yeah, on Tiffany Stratton's fucking heel.
Oh, I didn't see that, honestly.
Oh. Yeah, she took a boot from Rodriguez, did a back bump, and just back of her head was just nothing but Stratton's
Nothing but heel. Not the heel wasn't pointing up, but the heel was healed like it was. She perfectly took her shoe off.
Oh.
And she landed on the back of her head, and boy, she grabbed her head quick.
I'm sure.
Oh, it was horrible.
That sounds nasty. Well, I hope that she gets better real soon then. Oh,
I did appreciate because I think they were in the they were in Philly.
Right.
And this is the place where Liv got hurt, I believe. And she literally had she put a photo of the wall where she got hurt, and it was kind of literally like fuck you, buddy.
Mhm.
I'm like, yes. Rhea Ripley hates Philly. I love her now.
Couple of quick bits, and then we'll do the Meltzer parade shortly. Stu Grayson provided an update after getting bounced out of AEW again. He
Man,
said,
he got fired again?
yeah, he left. The entire thing's stupid anyway. Nothing's materialized. He's talked to a bunch of people, but he hasn't really made any moments. I think the biggest problem with Stu is that he was always wanted to be a single star, like even from day one, but the only thing that got them over was the Super Smash Brothers into the Dark Order, but always as a tag team wrestler, never as the singles guy that was breaking out. And then when he came back, he tried to be the singles guy and he ended up going to do a different group, the Righteous, instead. So it was a whole thing that just kept going over and over and over again. His contract expired in April. They didn't renew it. But obviously he's bouncing around indie promotions everywhere. It's not like he's not working, but it's unfortunate because he's a great talent.
Speaking of talent I haven't heard of in a hot minute,
Mhm.
Anybody know what the hell Biff Busick is doing these days?
Good question. I think he's just training now.
Because for some reason, I always stick him and Grayson in because they kind of got a similar look.
Right.
Bald beard.
Well, he came up in the same area too. Biff was up here. I think I'm going to look it up really quickly, but I believe he retired and is just a coach now. Let me 100% say that. Yeah, he returned as a coach in 2022. And he's officially
WWE?
retired. Yep.
Oh, well, good for him then.
The Performance Center. For those who thought they had a chance, it is official. Kind of strangely official. Britt Baker and Adam Cole did indeed break up. We kind of knew this. I've already kind of talked through it. Obviously, this goes. It's their personal lives. You know, we knew this was happening. Let them have space. Whatever.
Exactly.
Best of luck to both of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, whatever happens, breakups suck no matter who's wronged, who's not wrong. Sometimes you just fall apart. You know, sometimes things happen. He claims that they still care about each other. Obviously, they're still friends, but whatever. According to
Dave Meltzer.
Thank you. According to that asshole, as far as what happened, oh God, I'm gonna have a fucking stroke here, so forgive me. As far as what happens with Danielson, this is regarding Bryan Danielson's in-ring future and the original plans for AEW's Wrestle Dream. As far as what happens to Danielson involves the state of his neck. He's going to have an MRI done to see the damage. He had an MRI done not too long ago and showed damage all the way down to his neck. What happens next depends on the level of damage. Is it the same or is it worse? Or if it is, how much? The hope is he won't need surgery. He can heal up strong enough with stem cell treatment therapy. That's a whole thing. I don't understand it. But if not, he'll have to undergo surgery. If or when he can return to the ring depends on how well all this goes. They and he have always said regarding this match, it would be the end of his full-time career and not the end of his career. We kind of already said this. We've talked about this to death. Dave Meltzer, of course, said abso-fucking-lutely nothing in that. The report also added that the original idea for Danielson to lose the AEW World title to Darby at Wrestle Dream, but the company pivoted to Moxley in order to put as much as possible on him in the Blackpool Combat Club as a way to hopefully reignite interest in the promotion. What? Okay, whatever.
So they thought, in what you just read to me, they think Moxley has a bigger name than Darby.
From the way that sounds, I think that
they
think the Blackpool Combat Club angle has more stink on it than Darby winning against Danielson, which personally, big mistake in my opinion. But that's just me.
But the hotter the heel, it's just going to make Darby Allin's title win, I think, more intriguing because he's going to have to go through. It's almost like a modern horseman. He's probably going to have to go through Yuta. He's going to have to go through Pac. He's going to have to go through Claudio.
Fellas, have you not realized this yet? They are literally trying to redo the NWO.
Oh, absolutely. They're 100% trying to redo the
They're
NWO.
literally spray painting away and an NBA star. It's literally
Let's
the
just
same playbook.
dig up Kyle Petty and let's see what happens, you know? Dinner in a movie.
Kyle's still here. Kyle's still here.
Yeah, I know. I just like dig him up from obscurity.
But also at the same time, like we can get Rich. We can get what they still got Richard Petty. Is it still Richard Petty Racing?
Yeah.
They can pull somebody off of there and slap on the BCC logo.
Yep.
Waka wa hey.
Such a bad idea.
Regarding
Because you guys brought up Darby, like he's supposed to be like they keep mentioning pillars. What the fuck have these pillars done? With the exception of Jack, Perry's been amazing, but with the exception in 2024, any of these fucking pillars really hasn't done shit.
well, that actually goes into my next. According to
Fuck Dave Meltzer.
According to that asshole, he claims that AEW booking in light of ratings is lacking a lot of main eventers. This is fucking ridiculous. Christian Cage and Jay White is not a main event. There's main eventers and there's good workers, and you can make people main eventers, but until they're not main eventers. That was a perfect example. It wasn't a main event. And there is nothing really big advertised. As a show, it was an easy show to watch live, but there were no great matches and there were no great storylines. I guess they'll follow up on Jon Moxley at the pay-per-view and the Adam Cole promo, and the people saw Adam Cole promo right at the very beginning. AEW does need good matches or people aren't going to watch the show, which begs the question, did AEW's last paycheck to Meltzer bounce?
Possibly, because he sounds a little salty.
Right?
Yeah, he does.
He sounds like he sounds like Fat Man.
Right? It's absolutely ripped from the headlines from Fat Man right there. The hilarious part about this is Meltzer admitted, really? We're going with admitted on this one? That is an improvement on what the company was doing, but in order to get people to watch and buy tickets, they have to be matches that people want to see regardless of how well they're promoted. That is just fucking ridiculous, in my opinion.
Yeah.
No, but he's got a point.
He's not wrong, but he's a dick about it. So he's the ultimate.
Oh, yes, 100% right on that.
Yeah.
But he's not wrong. Like, if you look at AEW's very short time period, this is literally, you could literally go back and watch 2000s WCW, and you can literally pinpoint little things here and there that AEW has pulled from that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not working. For me, I was the AEW guy for us. I love this company. It has become a former shell of what it's been. And it's a damn shame.
For 5 years.
And it's a damn shame. Literally, they put themselves in an once again, I'm going to say this word, catalyst. When MJF lost the title, it cooled everything off. And they couldn't find somebody else to pick it up. Now, that's not a knock on Joe either. Because Joe as champion, I thought was very, very good, but it's not Maxwell.
Well, to be fair, they kind of were forced in that position because Max needed help in terms of medical help. Adam Cole broke his fucking leg while that all happened. So that was that entire storyline that they were going to pay off basically went right in front of their fucking eyes. So I understand that situation in that time frame was kind of sucks to be us type of situation for AEW, because that was the hottest angle at that point.
But you can tell which companies can make chicken salad out of chicken shit. And
You've
they ain't
got
one of them.
Well, the thing is, you got somebody at the helm that's a money mark, and to be fair, he's doing a decent job of keeping the company going. But when you have to take moments to do that kind of shit, you end up having to sit there and go, what do we do? How do we pivot? And if you don't have the experience of doing that as a promoter, you're going to fuck up. And shit happens. Things fuck up. Vince has fucked up many times over the years. WrestleMania 25 being a very notable one. You know, multiple times in other promotions, people fuck up. They don't do the right thing. They think that one match is going to draw and it doesn't at all. Or something that they didn't think was going to draw was the best match on the show and they should have ended with it. You know, shit like that happens. And of course, injuries happen all the time. You got to learn how to pivot. But in the same breath, if you've never faced that situation, you don't know what to do.
But I can agree with you at that point. But history has shown what you can do.
To an extent, you can see it from the outside looking in. But when you're in that moment, in that, spot going, well, now what the fuck do I do?
True.
It's not as easy of a situation to get out of. And once again, you're absolutely right. You could tell Tony's got a mind for the business because he's watched a lot of it, because you can see it in the stuff he's putting out there. Dietz said it perfectly. You can see bits and pieces of WCW, good or bad, depending on how you want to put it, in AEW's current product. You take a look at the people he's brought in. You take a look at the wrestlers he's brought in as agents. You take a look at the people he's assigned as front he
fucking brought in Michael Penzer,
right? Jeff Jarrett is in the fucking company.
My final note on AEW. Yes, it is not my AEW that I have appreciated, but at the same time, they might have the best tag division in all of wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that I can agree with.
And I will say that their women's division is pretty damn good. It's not, as long as Asuka still breathes, WWE's women's division will always be on top. But goddamn, they've done a good job.
So what happens when her contract goes up? She goes to Kana in AEW. Will you go, AEW? So great.
My dick will. I will have to learn Chinese apparently.
I was setting it up. I was wondering if you'd get it.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the setup.
Great setup.
Fucking Carlito. Apparently he didn't get heat over it, but people were very shocked by what he said.
Yeah,
because it was an ad lib.
Well, that's good.
It was. I thought it was.
I chuckled.
It was funny. It was fine because let's be frank here.
It's Carlito.
Carlito is
He's supposed to be the idiot.
Yeah, that was his entire gimmick for many years. Right. So I thought it was funny. I'm going to end with this because I feel like that we don't talk a lot of politics on the show. And I want to say a couple of quick things. Now, number one, people's political opinions are their own. Okay. Whoever you're going to vote for president, that's on you. Okay. I'm going to sit here and say this. When you are sitting there shitting on Dave Bautista while trying to put over your candidate because he had a differing political opinion than yourself is a dick move. And as we talked about when we opened this show with Hulk Hogan, Undertaker, the wrestler, is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Will always be that. Mark Calloway, the person, and I already kind of had this suspicion, is one of the most shitbag people in the world. And Glenn Jacobs can go fuck right off along with him. And we all knew this. And for obvious reasons. Everyone knows I'm very liberal. I make fucking Bernie Sanders look like a fucking conservative bastard, you know? But the reality is that when you've got to take shots at other people, I have other coworkers that liked you and have talked highly about you because of their political leanings. That's a shitty thing to do.
It is. It is.
And I don't want to harp on this anymore, but I do want to say, go out, vote, please. This election is very important for many different reasons, despite on which side of the aisle you're on. Look at your local elections, look at your state elections. If your governor's up for re-election, check out who's there. Check out your presidential election. Sometimes even local school boards and city councils are running right around the same time as well. Check out your elections and utilize the one piece of power that every single one of us as a United States citizen has, and vote. Vote for who you believe deals with your interests at heart, because that's what matters more than anything else. And I wanted to end on that only because I feel like that's so important. We're 2 weeks away from the election. Go out. If you need to vote early, vote early. If you need to do mail-in votes, do your mail-in votes. Obviously, that's different for every state. And once again, go out, find your polling place, and vote. Deets, put yourself over.
Find me at Legendary Deets on the X. Come talk shit. NFL football, MMA. Some Barstool drama that I'm really caught up in because it's kind of hysterical.
Oh, please tell me. Please tell me. Because I fucking hate Dave Portnoy, but that man loves dogs, and I can't completely fucking...
Correct. So I'm involved because he just got a new dog. He got Pete the Beagle. He's amazing.
Damn it!
So,
why do I love and hate that man at the same time?
But they have this guy. His name is Tate Moore. He goes by Ohio's Tate. Fucking love this guy. Was a part-time blogger for him, but Dave gave him a job because he went full-time to talk shit about the New York office, because apparently the New York office doesn't work Fridays. And Tate had a very big problem about that because he's a school teacher. So he wrote this gigantic blog trashing everybody. So finally this week was Comeuppance week, because the Guardians and the Yankees played. They had the series.
Yeah.
So because Tate got hired, he was in the Chicago office. They put him in New York for the first time. This is the first time anybody's had face-to-face with this cat since he's went off on him.
Oh, boy.
And needless to say, they really didn't do anything.
Boo!
And he made them all look fucking terrible again. So everybody's all in an uproar about it. He's calling out Dave about him being a fucking hypocrite and shit.
Of course.
It's all hysterical. Check out that blog. He writes incredibly well. And if you can write incredibly well and be funny, you got me as a fucking fan.
This motherfucker, in the meantime, went to fucking Boulevard Pizza in fucking Barnegat Light a week before I was going to go and fucked me. So he's on my shit list for a while. So fuck him.
But at the same time, he's giving me a lot of fucking pizza to eat.
True. Very true.
Like, there's some really good spots.
Oh, I've been running around fucking Jersey and New York because of it. Heavy G, put yourself over.
You can catch me and the Missing Fat Man at the Best Darn Sports Show, period 2, coming up right after this show. We're going to talk World Series. We're going to talk NBA. We're going to talk
wait.
tonight.
So Fat Man's not doing this show, but he's going to go do the sports show?
No, I'm going to, if Chip shows up, if not, I'm going to be doing it solo.
Hey, you and me, solo show, bro.
We got it, baby. We got it. We're going to talk NFL. We're going to talk about the injuries that's been happening to the quarterbacks and a whole lot more. Check it out in about 5 minutes time.
Quick. I was waiting, hoping that fucking Mets were going to take game 6. And then I saw the score 4-9. I was like, fuck, no Subway Series. Because, and even Fat Man didn't know this, if there was going to be a Subway Series, I was going to go to one of the games.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, I had
absolutely.
Right?
I had a Subway Series logo ready that I made myself. And then the Dodgers going through that.
wow.
Speaking of the Subway Series Yankees, we're also going to talk about, did Giancarlo Stanton deserve the ALCS MVP? We'll get into that too.
Ooh.
Absolutely, he did.
Very quickly.
What?
I-
Okay.
Big time plays, big time players.
Okay. 222.
But he hit when it counted.
Four. Oh, who? Wait. Okay, hit when it counted. Who hit the 3-run shot to put him in the World Series?
Soto.
Soto hit 386 compared to 222. One less home run and one less RBI.
Different components in a game, sir.
Soto was the MVP of that series. We'll get into that here. You'll see it all.
I'll give you my opinion because my opinion's trash. Yankees in 5.
As much as I'm a Yankee fan, I'm saying LA in 7.
Ooh.
No, fuck that, boys. Break out the brooms. 4 LA.
Wow.
Ohtani goes off.
Sweepy sweep
Sweep
on the NL.
Yep.
You can I'm at TWS Sleazy. Oh, he actually isn't here, so he can be a fucking
There is
asshole.
a TWS Fat Man.
There is a TWS Fatman, but he doesn't use it anymore because he's an asshole. We are Sleazy Fatman on X, by the way. Dietz is going to be taking hold of that relatively soon. I just haven't passed the credentials to him.
After this week, yeah. Give me time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to give them to you, and you do whatever you want.
Perfectly fine.
Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and now for the first time ever, we are now on Blue Sky. So
Nice.
You can find us at Sleazy Fat Man on Blue Sky now as well. I'll be holding on to that one because I can do a lot of cool things with that too. So please follow us on there. We've been finding a lot of cool, a lot more, not integrations, but more fans of the show and stuff. They've been taking a look at that. So we wanted to get on there and get our name out there. Find our videos at twitch.tv/SleazyFatman, youtube.com/SleazyFatman, premium content at onlyfans.com/the wrestling show. We got titties on the wrestling show. It's mainly Ryan's, but yeah, it's Ryan's, and every once in a while, Fat Man shows one. Whatever. Like and subscribe to your favorite platform. Click the notification icon on YouTube so you know that when we go live, when it's now or when it's Thursday night, because TWS After Dark is coming back for another Jeopardy episode, and we're going to shoot the shit as well. I'm going to be there. Dietz might be there.
Should be there.
You should be there. I know Heavy G's been iffy. But
I probably won't be because our Dart League starts. But if it's
that's
11 o'clock, I'll be on. I'll be on when I get home.
We'll see what happens. TWS After Dark has no rules.
You got it.
But when we go live on TWS After Dark, you will know because you've clicked the notifications icon on YouTube. Explore more content at thewrestlingshow.com, including articles, merch, and so much more. So with a thanks to Ryan, who was on at the very beginning, Dietz, Heavy G, and as always, for Sleazy.
It's Fat Man.
I'm the substitute Fat Man.
This is the Wrestling Show. Thank you guys so much for listening. Peace.
Hot dog is a sandwich this time, dickhead. You can't block it this time, you son of a bitch.
Fuck Dave Meltzer. Fuck Tony Khan and his alleged coke habit, and anything between two pieces of bread, whether it's a pieces of bread or a bun, is a sandwich. Fuck you, Fat Man. On that note,
it's a goddamn taco.
Doesn't matter. Still a sandwich.
Still a sandwich.
Fair.
I'm a truth that you seem to run from. I'm an army of one. I'm a clip in your gun. I'm